Welcome, everyone. Happy Wednesday. I'm the Grace Strega, and I'm here to give you your daily collective read for today, Wednesday, July 23rd, 2025. What do we have coming through in the cards for today? Can I please have the first two cards in our 5 card spread for today? First two cards we are starting our day off with today are our Hermit card in its reversal, in combination with our Nine of Swords in its reversal. Those are some very intense cards to be in combination. Let's talk about it. Let's get to it. This is some tea. What is the tea that we're seeing here? There's something really important in relationality to building into. I keep on and remember what I said? Remember when I said a little bit of that like Leo to the rescue kind of energy? Because we're talking a lot about the fact that we're deep within retrograde season. And the thing about, and not just retrograde season, we're deep within retrograde season. And a lot of that retrograde air energy is happening during in Aries. And we're going to talk about it because the thing about it is this type of energy can create a lot of that force of that forced pressure, if you will, right? It can create a lot of that feeling of being very hard on the self. It can create a lot of that space of feeling very overly critical of the self as well. And I want to say that, again, with a lot of the energy retrograding in Aries, we have to talk a little bit about isolation. Okay, this is some heavy stuff. This is often what those with Aries placements need to work through. Right. This is why Aries energy is often so tough. Okay, so this is why Aries energy. This is often why, go find the Aries in your life and go give them a hug, right? Because it's working through the context of understanding, that feeling of energetic isolation. But what happens, and this is what we love in relationality to kind of, I told you, in a way, I almost feel like the Mercury retrograde in Leo right now is coming to the rescue, right? Because when we're feeling energetically isolated, and then we remember everyone feels that way, what happens? Compassion, right? And it's the compassion that allows us to be able to work through that feeling from a place of, I keep on saying, from a place of energetic honor, right? Working through the space of being energetically easier on the self. And that's what I keep on seeing is happening for a lot of this energy right now in separation. I see one of two different modalities that is effectively occurring in relationality to working through that. These are, again, because we've got Venus moving through Gemini right now. This is either the energy that is, and I'll tell you right now, and I keep on seeing, the retrograde seasons can sometimes feel like they amplify or articulate our own feeling of loneliness, right? But this is why I keep on seeing that when we hold ourselves as sacred spaces, right, and we work through our loneliness, the loneliness itself becomes energetically sacred, right? Because it is the peacefulness, if you will. It's working through and understanding and learning and finding energetic solace. And what does solace mean? Solace is the ability to articulate and define and to work through one's own solitude and to find, right, to be able to identify and recognize what one is trying to do in a greater way, right? It is like the expansiveness, if you will. So I feel like there's a lot of this energy right now that is building upon the concept or the understanding that when we are holding ourselves sacredly, we hold our loneliness as a place of solace, which is the loneliness that effectively allows us the ability to identify and recognize what it is that we're trying to do in a better way, right? Like what it is that we're trying to it's the embrace of one's own quietude that allows one to contemplate upon something in a way that allows for something to move into a constructive space. And this is what I mean right now in relationality to some of these relationships that are happening, right? Remember when I said that a lot of these relationships are building upon very strong foundations? The observation and the understanding of what one is trying to do in a different way. I keep on seeing it's a lot of that feeling of like working through and finding that space. I would even tell you some of these relationships right now. I feel like it's saying to me, it's almost like the energy that feels the comfortability, right? The comfortability in doing like absolutely nothing with someone, right? But why do we often feel that comfortability with doing nothing with someone, right? Because I keep on seeing that for a lot of that energy, even the ability to articulate upon like that space, there's a lot of this deepening that is occurring in relationality to building upon the connection. So I keep on hearing these are relationships that are highly intuitive, they're highly contemplative. And they're often like I keep on seeing there's something about the concept of encouragement, which is the reaffirmation to one another that they're like I keep on seeing like the check-in that allows the ability to understand and define that that there's like almost like that feeling of energetic presence that they feel towards one another. You know what I mean? Like this is some very I keep on seeing like these are very empathetic relationships that are forming right now. And a lot of that, I keep wondering, like a lot of that empathy is the observation of what one is trying to do in a better way. Now, center card for today's spread, we have here, ooh, we've got our Seven of Pentacles in its reversal. Now, if you'll recall, yesterday we had a lot of sevens coming up. We had a lot of seven coming up. There were sevens all over yesterday's read. But that's what we like about like working through like the space of seven, because like a lot of the work that we understand is, and I keep on seeing for a lot of these relationships that are coming together right now, they're healing from the misconception of what perfect means, right? Because when we heal perfect, we understand that perfect is not an energetic template. It's not something that we're trying to arrive at. It's the condition by which we're always striving to do something in a better way, right? So I keep on hearing like perfect, like, and this is what I meant about a lot of these relationships being in temperance energy, because it's the understanding that perfection is not about holding an energetic form. It's about understanding and recognizing the adaptability that one brings to a circumstance or situation that allows one to like do something better, right? It is like perfect is about the space by which you identify what is like what one like the compassion that you bring forth to something. So I keep on seeing that there's a lot of that energy here that is working towards the self. But what's beautiful about those relationships is they're being kind to themselves in the process, right? The kindness is an extension of like the compassion that they're bringing forth. It is also one that they're giving back to themselves. Because I keep on hearing it's not selfish if it's reciprocal, right? The reciprocity of compassion is something that allows us to identify and honor our energetic standards. And this brings us to a lot of that energy that's moving deeper into divine union right now. Because for a lot of those relationships, you'll recall that we spoke about these being those magician partnerships. These were coming together from about the time that we had the solstice period up until the time that Mercury and Venus stationed direct behind Neptune. So for a lot of that energy, the observation of being in a relationship where one feels energetically appreciated, right? This is not the energy that feels like they're latent in that space, right? This is the energy that I almost feel like actively talking about what it is that they want to create together, like what it is that they're trying to bring forth. And what I like about this is I feel like this is the energy that is understanding and working through. Remember I said a lot of that frustration around the past that moves into veracity. I almost feel like this is the energy that is being able to find the words to articulate to another how one feels. But also, it's like the energy I keep on seeing, like the energy is speaking about the new ground that the relationship has brought to them. Because the new ground is like the observation of being able to identify and recognize what one is working on changing within the self. So I keep on seeing like there's a lot of that. I keep on hearing like these are relationships that are having stirring conversations. But the reason that they're having stirring conversations is because they're finding a way to communicate how they feel to one another, even in the midst of working through a lot of that energetic volatility that may feel like it's surrounding like the context by which they're expressing to each other, like how, like I keep on hearing they're finding a way to express to one another that the relationship is not energetically problematic, but in fact it's helping another see something that one couldn't see before, right? It's hard because it's hard to find, we don't have a word to, it's like the relationship that acts as catalyst is the best way I can describe it, right? And so it's like the energy that's articulating upon the fact that the relationship itself is a catalyst because it's helping them see something that they could not see before, that is inspiring them to do something in a better way. And this brings us to a lot of the energy deep within divine union. Clarification, the fourth and fifth cards of our 5-card spread. We have here our Three of Wands in its upright in combination with our Queen of Wands in its upright. So this is really, there's something about this here that, and this is having, I want to just show you guys this because this is intense. And it is having a different impact on masculine and feminine energy. Bearing in mind, this is not based on gender, but what one feels most aligned to. Now, for masculine energy right now, deep within divine union, I feel like this is a time of, it's interesting, it's energetic contemplation, but it's energetic contemplation that also like feels very much like this is like, I keep on seeing like this is a lot of the energy of masculine that is like working on a deepening sense of stability, right? And what I keep on identifying here is like it's the stability to be vulnerable, right? That's what I keep on, it's like the stability to be vulnerable, which is the space by which we're able to have the ability to express our feelings without feeling emotionally volatile through it, is what I keep on seeing for a lot of that energy. You know what I mean? And I keep on seeing it's like baby steps kind of thing, right? It's like, it's a lot of that energy that is like working through that. And I feel like even like, again, there's something about the space by which one allows the context to, like, this feels like a lot of inner child healing that I'm identifying that masculine is going through right now. And a lot of that inner child healing, I keep on feeling is like coming into the space of being able to be their authentic self, right? And so I keep on hearing like that is the masculine energy that is doing that in such a way that it is, I keep on seeing I keep on hearing it's emotional, but it's also self-regulating, because I keep on hearing there's a lot of the masculine energy that identifies and recognizes that, again, it's a continuation of understanding that it's not strength to be led by one's emotions. We honor our emotions not just by doing what the emotions dictate, but by doing the work to identify and recognize what the emotions are asking for, is what I keep on seeing. For feminine, I see feminine more, like more in a space of like, I keep on seeing like tangibility, right? I see more of the feminine being in a space of being able to amplify and articulate upon something that they're trying to do in a greater way. And I feel like I just want to show you the cards right now surrounding masculine and feminine so you have a better sense of what I'm seeing. For those who are joining, who are listening to the podcast, you can go to the Substack and you'll be able to see the full spread. So these are the cards we're seeing right now around the masculine energy, which is again that Hermit card in its reversal, and the nine of like the nine of wands in its reversal, right? Like the state, like this is what I meant with like the ability to feel energetically comfortable within the self, like working through the space of the inner child healing. For feminine, let me just show you the feminine cards right now. These are the feminine cards. Okay. We've got the Three of Swords with the Queen of Wands in its upright. And I need to point out, I know these cards look very different, but they're very, very similar. This is just saying feminine is doing this work more consciously today. Masculine is doing it more unconsciously. Continuing to get clarification between our Hermit card in its reversal in combination with our Nine of Swords in its reversal. And I will point out we've got double nines out right now, because we've also got the Hermit card itself is also a 9 card. Can I get one card to clarify, please? Clarification coming through right now with that Devil card in its reversal. So this is what I mean in relationality to a lot of the energy right now in separation, which is, and I keep on seeing it's not enough. I keep on hearing it's not enough to be in one's authenticity, right? It's not about just being entirely in one's authenticity. It's about being, I keep on seeing like the space by which we identify and understand what we're trying to do in a better way. And I keep on hearing like what's lovely, and that's what I mean about the relationships that are coming together right now. These are not the relationships wherein they're articulating to one another the space of seeking the ability to be unconditionally themselves. I can almost see the energy saying that they don't desire something to be unconditionally within themselves. It's the space by which we are able to be in our authenticity and also empathetic of others in the process, is what I keep on seeing. So there's a lot of this, I keep on seeing like the foundation of a lot of these temperance relationships is comfortability. But the comfortability that I'm seeing here has to do with the observation of not working through the space of being perfect, but the observation of being able to articulate and define what you're trying to do in a better way that allows the possibility to be able to improve, that becomes energetically endless. Because I keep on hearing that a lot of these relationships that are coming together right now is like, I keep on either hearing the energy in separation saying, my job in separation is not to be perfect, it's to identify where the work is. Or these are relationships that are talking about the work on themselves that feels like the alignment point when we feel the force of mutual effort, right? Someone that says, I'm trying to do that too. I also see things that way. And while they're made, I keep on hearing it doesn't mean that they have to be exactly the same, right? It doesn't mean, I keep on hearing they don't have to be lockstep, but it's the observation of what it is that they're doing in different ways, right? And even here, I like to point out, you see the fact that we see such a difference between masculine and feminine here, but there's also a similarity. Healing the same thing in different ways. And that is like, that's what I meant about like the energy right now, those temperance partnerships that are coming together, right? The same work on different fronts, right? Like that's often what it feels like. And so that's what I keep on seeing. It's the conversation that widens the perspective, because I keep on hearing the energy say, I never thought of it that way, right? Or I never considered that. Continuing to get clarification for the energy moving deeper into divine union, clarification between our Nine of Swords in its reversal in combination with our Seven of Pentacles in its reversal. Can I get one card to clarify? Woo, clarification coming through right now with our Eight of Cups in its reversal. I feel like there's something really intriguing that we're seeing here. In relationality to, I keep on observing, how do I describe this best? There's, like, I keep on seeing that for a lot of the energy moving deeper into divine union, the ability, I keep on hearing the ability to let go of things that feels like an energetic blessing. Because I keep on seeing, like, for a lot of the energy doing that work, right? The construct of the present, or like working through the space of the present. It's like, it's not, I keep on seeing it's not about, like, this is what's so difficult when we're working on our own healing process, because we see things in different ways. And sometimes when we see things in different ways, it hurts, right? And this is why we talk about the spirituality that doesn't feel indulgent on the self, that says, like, you were perfect every step of the way, right? That's not a healthy healing journey, right? The healthy healing journey is one that we are observant on what we could do better, right? It's the observation of what it is that we're working to fix and to change. And so that's why I see that for a lot of these relationships moving deeper into divine union right now, they are riveted. It's what I keep on saying. They are riveted, but they're riveted to the relationship. Why are they riveted to the relationship? Because it's a rivet. It's like being riveted to the relationship is feeling like they're getting fixed, right? It's like they're riveted in it because they're feeling that they're getting fixed, but they're getting fixed in the space that they're observing, right? They're seeing where the work needs to go, is what I keep on seeing. It's like the energy, and I see energy right now coming into divine union, trying to articulate to counterpart why they are riveted right now. And I keep on seeing the reason that they're saying that they're riveted is not one, right? It's not the space by which being in counterpart connection is causing interference within them. It's helping them to see what the interference was, is what I keep on seeing. Continuing to get clarification, and I can see the energy like going, like trying to articulate this to one another, and I can see the energy saying to one another, say less. I know exactly what you mean, right? Continuing to get clarification between our Seven of Pentacles in its reversal in combination with our Three of Wands in its upright. Can I get one card to clarify? Woo, we got King of Wands energy in its upright. So this is what I keep on seeing that's happening right now for a lot of the energy deep within divine union. I keep on seeing it's like the ability, I keep on hearing it's like the ability to share ideas. It's the ability to communicate upon something. And I told you, what's interesting about this is, and this is what I meant about the fact that this Mercury retrograde might be hitting a little bit different this time around. Why are we seeing the fact that the Mercury retrograde is hitting a little bit different this time around? Because it's in Leo. And and we just came into Leo season. And you have to understand that often, and this is what we talk about with the Mercury retrograde periods. Mercury retrograde periods are not here to break your toaster. They're here to help you recognize the difference between a groove and a rut, right? Because when the only way you can tell if something that you do is working, like if it feels like it's working, or if it's just like feels like it's something that you just get used to, right? And there might not be like a better thing, like a better way of doing it, is if things crimp up a bit. Okay, is if things crimp up. Because when they crimp, right, if you want to go back towards it, then you understand that that is the most, like that is the most efficient thing for you, right? It's like it's like, yeah, no, that's that, like that needs, I need to go back there, like that's something that I need, right? But sometimes, and this is what we don't give enough credit to with Mercury retrograde periods, right? The ability to energetically innovate can sometimes often create that leap during a retrograde period, because it's a moment that something we get used to breaks or stutters, that we see, right? We look up, we see something that we hadn't considered before. We have a moment when things slow down. Instead of getting frustrated, if we open our eyes to see possibilities, then this is often how a lot of that energy of the retrograde can move. Like it can move you into the space of being able to identify and recognize how to do something in a way that feels more energetically effective. And I'm going to tell you right now, with the Mercury retrograde happening in Leo season, and the retrograde being in Leo with all the other energy in Aries, I feel like it's the space where it's going to, like this Mercury retrograde energy is hitting us like straight in the empathy. It's like hitting us straight in the empathy. It's working on the identification of looking and saying, how can I be more compassionate to situations, right? How can I allow my compassion to be more energetically effective, right? So there's a lot, I keep on seeing like there's a lot of that work that is like working on the frustration of the self, right? But instead of being hard on the self, you allow it, like it allows you to like do something in a different way. It allows you to like, think about a different possibility to things. And so one of the things I keep on seeing for a lot of the energy right now, deep within divine union, it's the observation, and this is what I mean about the relationships deep within divine union. They're working, they're talking about how they can convey, right? They're talking about how they can convey and how they can convey, like I keep on hearing, like what it is that they're trying to do in a deeper way, right? So there's a lot of that. I keep on hearing conversations on conveying, continuing to get clarification between our Three of Wands in combination with our Queen of Wands, getting back to the energy and separation. We've got here our 10 of Swords in its reversal. So here's the thing. Okay. I'm sure you're already feeling it. Retrograde seasons can bring a lot of stuff back up to the surface. Okay? It can bring a lot of stuff back up to the surface, either metaphysically, a lot of stuff from the past. Okay? Either metaphysically, spiritually, personally. You know what I mean? Like it can just bring a lot, maybe even in the dream space, right? But here's the important thing about that. When we're doing, and that's what I mean, like being able to face retrogrades with like a sense of bravery, which is like the space that like you're able to look at something and say, I'm working on that. I'm working on that. Like the observation of being, and this is why the retrogrades can be helpful, and they can be energetically fortifying, because often I like to point this out. The sign of a healthy journey is the alteration of how one sees the past, right? And this is why we should never try to disassociate from our past. Like our past is like the space by which we effectively arrive to who we are and where we are. And when we embrace our energetic space, like when we embrace ourself, we hold our past reverently. Which is to say, like that is the experience, like that is the pathwork that we arrive towards, right? It doesn't create the exclusivity of the articulation of who we are, right? It is the definition of how we became, right? And so I keep on seeing that for a lot of the energy right now, that ability of doing so, this is what I meant about some of these relationships right now that are coming together that feel like I told you, such strong foundations, because what are they doing as they come together? They're embracing their past. They're articulating upon it. They're looking at it. They're just looking at it. They're looking backwards. They're looking backwards, and they're having healthy conversations about it, because often the past that we can speak about is the past that is behind us. And it is the way that we are able to navigate the road going forward. So I keep on hearing that this is the energy that is recognizing the direction sense in one another, because they're not looking at each other and being like, I don't want to talk about it. Like they're not going like, no, I don't want to bring it up. It's the energy that says it's not easy to talk about, but I'm happy to talk about it. Right? It's like it's working through it. It's like it's the energy that says like, no, I want to bring it forward towards you, because like the ability to be able to do so allows a differing of perspective. And that's why I keep on seeing like the energy is talking heavily about the past with one another as they're building into new relationship, because what are they saying? Did I miss anything? Is there something I value? Look at this. Look at this energy and separation. I value your opinion on this, right? I value your perspective. Is there something that I'm missing? Right? It's the energy that says like it's the energy that literally like wants to have those conversations, because the energy says that the ability to be comprehensive about our past fortifies us from repeating energetic lessons. So I just keep on seeing that's a lot of that energy that is feeling that, like I keep on seeing like that is what I meant about the communication flow between some of these relationships that are forming right now. It's like they're it's like it's open book kind of energy. Continuing to get clarification between our Devil card in its reversal in combination with our Eight of Cups in its reversal. Can I get one card to clarify? We've got here our Page of Swords in its upright. So let's talk a little bit about this Page of Swords energy that we're seeing, because for a lot of this energy that I'm seeing right now, Page of Swords, how do I describe this best? Like, this is what I mean in terms of like a lot of the energy right now moving deeper into divine union, but working through something in a way that I keep on seeing like it is the what's interesting about a lot of these energies that are moving deeper into divine union, that observation, right, of what it is, that like the observation of the relationship that allows one to see something differently, right? Even if it's difficult, it feels like an energetic celebration, because I keep on seeing that this is the energy that is setting their intention on how they can do something in a better way. They're resolving, like they're setting those resolutions for themselves as it relates to how they're healing. Because and we talk a lot about this, like that observation of the healthy partnership that allows one to see something that one couldn't see before. This is the energy that understands that clarity often, like some things we only build clarity upon when we're in a space that we feel energetically stable and secure enough to see it. And that's why I keep on seeing that these are the energies that are riveted to the relationship, because this is the energy that understands that the healthy relationship is one that helps us see something in different ways, because that is the arrival by which we're able to see the relationship that feels like it's energetically nourishing, because, right, it is the mutual appreciation that is found within the partnership that allows one to arrive to a deeper sense of personal understanding and expansion. So we see even now that for a lot of that energy, this is like working through the rough stuff, but also feeling, again, a healthy relationship, or even with the self, is not one that feels indulgent. It's not one that makes one feel good all the time. It's the identification point of what it is that we're working upon, working towards our sense of energetic perfection. Continuing to get clarification between our Eight of Cups in its reversal in combination with our King of Wands in its upright. We've got here our Three of Cups in its upright. Now, this is what I mean for a lot of the energy right now, deep within divine union. There's something really important that I'm seeing right now as it relates to the energy deep within divine union. And it has to do with, I keep on hearing there's something there's really important to identify that is occurring right now for the energy that is deep within divine union that has to do with the ability to articulate and amplify, that even in those moments that we are working through, I keep on hearing it's working through, and this is what I meant about like having to like navigate a lot of energy that is going retrograde in Aries, because energy going retrograde in Aries can sometimes hit us like right in the solitude, right? And when we're in a healthy space, like that feeling of solitude can feel like it is energetically fortifying. It can feel like something that feels energetically supportive. But when we're deeper, like, and I keep on seeing for a lot of the energy right now, like that's what I mean with like working through Leo season, which is the space by which we are able to amplify and articulate how, like, what that feels like the space of building, like the reverence of empathy is such that it is, I keep on hearing, it is not exclusive to the self. It is the empathy that we build towards one another, but also it is the energy that understands that our compassion is the extension of honoring each other's boundaries, right? And that's what I keep on seeing, that for a lot of the energy doing that work, it says to me that there's like a lot of the energy deep within divine union that's working through and working on better ways of communicating, right? Better ways of trying to articulate that force of intention in a way that I keep on seeing not only does it honor their energetic boundaries, but it amplifies and reinforces those around them, is what I keep on seeing. So I feel like there's something really important about that, because I keep on hearing it is like the compassion that one is proud upon. But the reason that one is proud upon it is not because it feels like energetically indulgent to do so. It's the understanding that, like, I keep on hearing, compassion is what you do in the face of your own anxiety and fear, right? It's not what makes you feel good. It's how you I keep on seeing it's how you push against the self in a way that allows you to do something. It's like the articulation of what we're trying to do that often feels like, I keep on seeing, feels like it sometimes comes into the space of being a conflict within the self. So I keep on seeing that, like, that's what I mean, like the complexity of, I keep on hearing the complexity of communicating upon compassion is what I keep on seeing is happening right now for a lot of the energy deep within divine union, because I keep on seeing like it's also like articulating upon one's own frustration as it relates to those who confound compassion with indulgence, is what I keep on hearing. Continuing to get clarification between our King of Wands in combination with our Ten of Swords in its reversal. Can I get one card to clarify? We've got here, wow, we've got the Queen of Cups here as well right now. And so, I want to point out yesterday's read was very interesting. And you can see yesterday's spread over on the Discord, because not on the Discord, but over on the Substack, because the thing about yesterday's spread that is intriguing has to do with the fact that we saw a lot of masculine energy in the spread itself. There wasn't a lot of feminine energy that was being displayed. But often I like to point out, when we're not, bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. When we're not seeing like a lot of feminine energy like on the spread itself. I actually feel like yesterday feminine was more in some of that hermit mode, right? But this is what we mean in relationality to working upon the space of our own feelings, right? Because when we're carrying our feelings, right, when we're honoring our feelings, we are able to convey why we feel the things that we feel, right? It's the ability to articulate upon the deeper meaning. So everything I keep on seeing here in relationality to that, I feel like there's a lot of that, like there's a lot of that energetic force that we're seeing here. And I just want you to show you this third spread before I draw the clarifying cards, right? Because we've got here the Page of Swords, the Three of Cups, and we've got the Queen of Cups here. So this is what we mean in terms of like working in the context of identifying harmony, right? Because it is like literally a conversation that says, if we hold standards, it's not enough to hold standards, but those standards must be, right? They're not just the standards that we hold towards ourselves, but the standards that can effectively be held by those around us, right? Then that is usually the best articulation of compassion, because compassion is not about having the things that you want or doing the things that you want. It's honoring, it's the space by which we honor each other, that we identify the true value and force of love, right? Because it's not the space by which we articulate or we see something and we desire it. Wanting is not love. I'm going to say that again. Wanting is not love. Honoring is love, right? Because the space by which we honor is the space by which we feel the capacity of understanding and seeing someone in the identification point of being able to embody their joy, right? And this is what I keep on seeing that's happening right now for a lot of the energy deep within divine union. I mean, not even deep within divine union, but the energy in separation. Because I keep on seeing that this energy is literally speaking to one another. This is either, like I said, there's two different modalities right now in separation. These are either energies right now, look, they're either working on themselves, right? Masculine and feminine, saying, I'm doing this work for myself, but I'm not just doing it for myself. I'm doing it for my future, right? Because this is the energy that says, when I work towards my best version of self, I prepare myself for the energetic counterpart that is going to see me in that space and also be doing the work, right? It is the journey on the self that brings us closer to the energetic counterpart, because it's the energy that doesn't say, where are they? Why aren't they here? It's the energy that says, I need to embody the qualities and characteristics that I'm seeking to find in another in order to find it, right? Like that is what we talk about with the pathwork of alignment, right? It's not the space that says, where are they? It's the space that says, who am I, right? It's the ability to embody that work. So this is the energy that's putting that work within the self, understanding that is what will be apparently like made apparent, like that is what will bring them into alignment to the ideal counterpart that sees that and celebrates it. And at the same time, understanding that there are those that identify and see that work. And if you're working on the self and another person sees that and tries to, like, I keep on hearing, like, comes into a space of rejection upon it, like this is the energy that celebrates that rejection, because rejection is redirection, particularly when you understand that the same things that will be considered a gift in healthy partnership will be articulated to you in an unhealthy partnership as being unnecessary, right? Damaging to the relationship, right? And it's the observation of understanding that that is the work that we do. And we don't get into that. We let go of the illusion of rejection and move instead into the space of observation, right? Which is the space by which another sees something and almost celebrates if another pushes away from it, because it's the observation of saying we want different things. You know what I mean? If you're working on the self and you know that energetic counterpart will aspire and desire those same qualities and characteristics, and another person says, oh, oh, you subscribe to that, you'd be like, you bet I do, right? It's like, it's a lot of the energy that says like, oh, that's good. Like it's good, right? It's good to experience that feeling of energetic rejection, because often when you're moving towards your what's for you, you have to be able to overcome the anxiety of working through the quiet that's there, right? Because working towards like the sense of finding the solace in the self, right? That is the difference between building into a relationship just to fill the space of loneliness versus finding that energetic alignment point of someone that truly and deeply we connect with. And I'll tell you, never are we in more danger than when we're trying to enter partnership simply to fill a void, which you can do. You can enter partnership to fill a void, and you will miss what's for you in the process, right? Because the universe hates an energetic vacuum. So I keep on seeing that for a lot of the energy, like that's the thing about it. Like I see this energy like literally talking to each other about discernment. Like there's conversation. They're having conversations about discernment, right? They're having conversations about discernment. I hear this energy saying, I'm not everyone's cup of tea. Thank goodness. Who wants to be everyone's cup of tea? Ooh, that sounds weird. Who wants to be everyone's cup of tea? I see the energy going, who wants to be everyone's cup of tea? I see this energy saying like, it's like, it's the ability of saying like, it's like the energy that says, I don't work. When we try to be everyone's cup of tea is the song of saying we're trying to delude ourselves, is what I keep on hearing. When we're trying to be everyone's cup of tea, we're working on deluding ourselves, is all I keep on hearing, which is to say like that's something you can do. I keep on hearing the energy and separation saying that's something you can do. Absolutely. You can do it. It's okay. And I see the energy saying like, I see even in the space. But it's interesting too, because it's saying diluting, but it's also saying dilute, because they're saying dilute, because like it's delusional to think that you can be for everybody. It doesn't work that way. It's an impossibility point. Even in the space that you try to dilute yourself, there'll be somebody that articulates and says, oh, look, you're trying to do that, right? It's like you can't. It's an unwinnable, it's an impossible space. It's like that is why it often can create that feeling of impossibility. Because and again, Leo is under like, these are a lot of Leonic lessons, which is to say, you can't ever, like if you were even in the context that you're trying to work to please everybody, there'll be somebody who'll be like, you know what? The way you try to please everybody, it really pisses me off. Like you can't. There'll always be, there's always something else, is what I keep on seeing. So I feel like this is a lot of the energy that is building into the space of mutual appreciation, which is the identification of seeing one another and appreciating how hard they work, is what I keep on seeing. And this is the same force that we see that's happening right now for a lot of the energy that's like moving deeper into divine union. It's working through something. It's feeling a lot of that volatility in the process. It's looking back at the past. And like, just like I keep on seeing like being riveted, like being rocked by what they're seeing about the past that that is behind them. But it makes them hold on even tighter to what is energetically before them, right? Because I keep on seeing that this is the energy that honors, I keep on hearing honors the embrace of clarity, which is the understanding that the ability of building with a counterpart that helps to be energetically appreciated, it sometimes shows us where the work it needs to be, right? And we can feel, I can see the energy like, like working through that, like even potentially feeling like a lot of new, like, and that's a problem. Like often when we don't talk about this enough. Often when we're going through deeper healing, like new anxieties arise, right? New worries come through. But this is why I keep on seeing like a lot of the energy that works through that just kind of takes that, right? That's what I mean about like working through a lot of that energy. Like it's the ability of understanding that, and this is why we talk about our capacity to love is entirely balanced upon how we can navigate our own fears. Because when we don't, when we build into a deepening of love, but we haven't learned to control our fears, we often, our love doesn't feel like love. It just starts to feel like the place that we project our fears. So that's what I meant in relationality to a lot of the energy right now, doing that heavy work within union, because the love is increasing, but so is the desire to potentially want to project that anxiety that comes with the love towards counterpart. But this is why I keep on seeing that these magician partnerships are so strong, because this is the energy that like learns, like I keep on hearing, like they're working through the self to a certain extent, and they're just feeling the ability to like navigate that from a place of, I keep on seeing like the energy that says I'm strong enough to stand in the face of the anxiety that comes with the full force of love, is what I keep on seeing, right? It feels like it's a lot of the energy. I feel like a lot of that energy is like coming into strength, right? Because it's the strength that says like this is the energy that says like that's what it means. It's an honor to carry that anxiety because it is the force of how much we care about things. And this brings us to a lot of the energy deep within divine union. And this is why I keep on seeing that for a lot of the energy deep within divine union right now, there's a lot of that continuing to get clarification here between our Page of Swords and our Three of Cups, and it's upright. We've got here the King of Pentacles in its reversal. Now this is really intriguing too, because I believe I feel like this card has been coming up a bit as well. And here's the thing about it. And I keep on seeing this. This is the thing with the King of Pentacles in its reversal, which is it's the observation and understanding that when we're doing something in a bigger way, it's not about, I keep on hearing, we don't like rest. I keep on hearing we don't rest on our energetic laurels, is what I keep on hearing for a lot of the energy deep within divine union, which is the understanding that says that the ability to identify and articulate upon, I keep on hearing like and this is what we were talking about in terms of like working through the pathwork of stability, which is it's not about feeling secure in the self. Like we are like this is the irony of security of the self. We are secure in ourselves when we're ever vigilant of ourselves. Like that is the force of being secure in the self. Being secure of the self does not mean that one is like, it's like, and that's why those who like sometimes are on an ego trip are never are you in more danger, is what I keep on saying, because the space by which one is secure on oneself by always checking the self, is what I keep on hearing. Because that ability of being conscientious, right? That ability, that same force of care is often the amplification of the care that we bring forth to ourselves. And so I keep on seeing that a lot of that, like a lot of that comprehensiveness, like I keep on seeing like that's a lot of the energy deep within divine union that almost articulates and communicates their appreciation to counterpart. Because the ability to bring forth something to one another and then to have that different point of view, right? This is the benefit, like the gift that you have with a healthy ego is the wonderful gift of different points of view, right? Because it allows you to see more, right? And when we're in a healthy space and someone brings their perspective to us, it might not mean that we agree with it, but there's an adaptability point to be able to recognize and identify how, like, the observation that allows for the communication. So I keep on seeing that for a lot of the energy doing that work, there's a lot of that appreciation that they speak towards upon each other, because it allows one to be able to recognize and identify where, like, what one could be doing in a better way, right? Continuing to get clarification between our Three of Cups in combination with our Queen of Cups and its upright. We've got here our Death card energy. Man, some heavy stuff. Let's talk a little bit about it. And here's the thing, like, we're gonna bring this back for a minute to what's going on. Woof, really? Okay. These are the last cards. All right, just give me a minute. All right, so for those listening to the podcast, we got 4 cards that just flew out as the last card. This new moon is going to hit a little bit different depending on, and here's the thing about it, and we're going to walk through this for a minute. Full moons in Leo can be very, very complicated. I always like to describe a Leo full moon is a very messy full moon, because it's like the observation of the sun where the moon should be. It's a whole thing. It's like it can sometimes create a little bit of navel gazing energy, if that makes sense. Because it's like, who am I? You know what I mean? Like, it can sometimes be a lot. Okay. But a new moon in Leo can sometimes feel extremely, if you're doing the work, is what I keep on saying. If you're doing the work on the self, it can feel very, I want to describe it as, it can feel like an energetic relief point, because it's the observation of saying, giving oneself the scrutiny of doing something, and then honoring the space in terms of understanding that worry is usually the fortification point of love, right? And I keep on getting that message to kind of say, which is, if you're worried right now, if you're doing something the right way, good. You should be worried. When we care about things, we worry upon them constantly. And we put that force of, and I know it's hard to describe, but like, worry is the force of love, because the force of love isn't the one that feels like it's energetically indulgent. It's the energy that always articulates and identifies and perseverates over the identification point of how one could be doing something in a better way. And often feeling like you're failing that job, right? It's often that worry, like that constant anxiety point. But that is the energetic force of love, because it talks towards the importance and the significance upon the things that we energetically care about. We always have to be conscientious and cautious. Never are we in more danger than when we feel right, when we feel completely confident of what we're doing. Like that, like, don't, like, that is, like, you should be very conscientious when you feel like that. Be like, you know what I mean? It's always that unpacking. It's always that worry, that often that is the energy that effectively, like, purifies our love, because it is the love that is always agonizing in relationality to the intention in terms of how another person receives it, right? And so I feel like for those, like, there's something about the like the message coming through, which says, like, for those who do that work, like, if you're in that space, there's something about this new moon in Leo that feels like it's energetically fortifying, because it's the work that is effectively, that it's a reminder that says, make sure that you give yourself compassion too, right? That the compassion that you give to others does not stop at your doorstep. And I know if you're getting this message right now, you're shaking your head and you go, but it doesn't. Okay, it doesn't. Like, like, I already know the energy I'm reading for that says, no. The compassion is for everybody else. No, it's for you too. Okay. But like, let that kind of remind you, right? Let that be a reminder that you also are energetically worthy of compassion. While for again, I feel like there is something about this new moon that if you're like if you're working into the space of like feeling energetically strong, like this could sometimes feel like a little bit more destabilizing. So I keep on seeing like go gently into this new moon in Leo energy, right? And remember, if you're ever worrying about whether you're doing something and it feels like it's the energetically right thing, remember our standards are correct when it feels like there's something that would immediately be shared with another, right? The observation of saying it's not, I keep on hearing, it's not selfish if it's generous is a good way to kind of help identify and recognize if something that you're doing feels like it's in energetic accordance to you. Because it's the observation that healthy standards are standards that can be mutually shared. So if you're doing that type of work, like let this kind of energy help refocus. And I keep on hearing like realign in relationality to how one is like working upon something. But make sure you're bringing that appreciation of the self towards it in the process. And that's what I keep on seeing in relationality to the four cards that came out to clarify between the King of Pentacles in combination with the Death card, which were the 10, like this is exactly what I'm trying to communicate, with the 10 of Cups in its reversal, the four of Wands in its upright, the two, like again, the two of Pentacles in its reversal with the Temperance card, which is like, again, the vibration of love is one that is demarcated by worry because it is the space by which one is trying to do the best, not feeling that one is the best. Bottom of the deck on this reading. Yeah, especially with the Justice card and its reversal, right? The ability to work through, I keep on seeing like, the understanding and recognition that working towards like identifying what feels energetically balanced is one that is always, I keep on hearing, it's calibrated upon the space of and I feel like there's something about this too, which is like I keep on hearing like focusing on the internal compass, which is the observation of being able to do something in a better way. And this is what I keep on seeing about this new moon in Leo energy, like having an impact across the frequencies, which is the observation. I feel like it's a space that says, like, it's interesting too, because like the message that comes through is that love is never lost. You know, there are things like our journeys are important and integral, and they are always seen. And the space by which we recognize and identify that, I keep on hearing, like, I feel like there's something about this new moon in Leo energy that feels like it's a bit of a heart opening in relationality to love that feels like it's lost. But I keep on hearing love is never lost. Love is never lost. All the love that we give, it goes somewhere important, right? And the observation and the impact of our force of care, right? It is one that both fortifies us because it is the expression of saying, see how much. And I feel like that's often what we have happen when we're working through some deep healing, right? It's the observation that unfortunately love can't fix things. I know how difficult that sounds because sometimes we hit those modalities and we want to fix something and we say, maybe if I just put a little bit more love there, I can fix it. But love can't fix something unless there's a mutual desire to be able to energetically heal something, right? Love fixes when there's mutual attention to where the love goes. But this is often why sometimes we work through those spaces and we often try to put love in a place that's in balance, and it just creates a further imbalance because love cannot heal a latent space. It just amplifies it, is what I keep on getting. So again, keep that in mind as you're working through that healing, because I see like even in that space of working through that, like it's the observation of recognizing and identifying. It's not about, I keep on hearing, it's not about the feelings that we have, but the intention by which we are trying to move something in the right direction. That is where we find, that is our daily collective read for today. I want to thank you guys so much for being here and receiving it. Just a reminder, if you would like to book a private reading with me, you can book one on my site. Please keep in mind, if you book a private reading with me, it is a two-step process. You have to book the reading, you have to pay for the reading. Please make sure you do both if you'd like to have that reading. Most importantly, please remember that I will never, ever, 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 ever reach out to you for a private reading. I will never DM you. I will never PM you. I will never slide into your inbox and tell you that I have a very important message that only I can deliver. The only way you can book a reading with me is if you book one on my site. So I would encourage you to do it there. A couple of updates before we move into personal readings today. First and foremost, thank you to everyone who attended our recent class on the Devil card. It is available now for paid subscribers on my Substack. Our next class will be held on Wednesday, August 13th at 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. Eastern. We will be continuing our studies into the tarot with a focus on the Tower card. If you would like to become a part of that tarot class program, all you need to do is head over to my Substack and become a paid subscriber. Your paid subscription to my Substack is your ticket of entry into our live classes each and every month. You will also, as a monthly subscriber, have access to over 9 hours worth of material in the Tarot Church Library Class Archive. Now, it's not necessary to catch up. I'll be doing my best to give you an update on everything we've studied prior to beginning that next class. But if you wanted to catch up, now is a perfect time to become a part of those classes, because you've got like a whole month. If you want to catch up on any of those classes, they'll be available to you. You'll also have access to a one-on-one chat with me and the other students to ask any questions that you may have in relation to anything we've learned or studied thus far. And if you become a founding member to my Substack, not only will you receive a discount on the whole year's worth of classes, but you will also receive a complimentary one-on-one mentorship class with me, where I will meet with you personally to assess where you are on your own personal tarot journey and give you the best insights in terms of how to utilize those classes to the best of your advantage moving towards your personal tarot goals moving forward. One of the things I tried to do in these classes was make them accessible to the absolute novice tarot reader as well as the seasoned reader. There's definitely something there for everyone. Don't let your lack of experience or your robust experience prevent you from joining us in these classes. And even if you don't become a paid subscriber to my Substack, I would encourage you to follow me there to stay up to date on any new offerings or services. I also post my weekly newsletter there, which will let you know about my in-person events as well as my online live schedule. I also post my Mystic Meditation articles there, which give you updates on what we've been seeing energetically in the cards. I just wrote one recently on this full moon in Capricorn that we just experienced, and I'll be writing one shortly on this new moon energy. Finally, I want you guys to know that on top of my standard life path readings, I also offer mentorship classes. These are for any of my students seeking a more personalized educational experience with me. I take a very limited number of students for this reason, as those classes are focused on each individual's personal spiritual goals and journey work. Those classes can be purchased on an individual level or as a monthly class series, weekly or bi-weekly as your schedule permits. Also, for my students that are seeking more consistent weekly tarot support, I'm very happy to offer weekly tarot insight packages. That is a package of 4 30-minute readings, again, weekly or bi-weekly as your schedule permits, so that you can stay more consistent on your personal journey. I'm also very happy to now offer dream interpretation readings. You can purchase these per dream or as a series. If you purchase a series, I would encourage you to start to keep a dream journal, as we will meet weekly or bi-weekly with that journal and utilize the tarot to understand the key themes and messages coming towards you in the dream space. I want to thank you guys so much for being here today and sharing in these messages, and we will do this again tomorrow.